Effects of age on the respiratory system. The health of the lungs and respiratory system can change with age. As you get older, the elasticity of your lungs decrease and they lose strength, and you become more vulnerable to disease. At a young age, your respiratory system is very efficient. Air moves into your lungs through the trachea into tubes called the bronchi, which go into the lungs on the left and right hand side. From the bronchi, there are bronchioles, which are all connected to small sacs called alveoli, which hold the air. In your lungs there is approximately 600 million of them, and covering each alveolus there are tiny blood vessels which are called capillaries. Across capillaries, oxygen is able to move into the bloodstream from the lungs, so oxygen can be taken to the working muscles. Capillaries also allow carbon dioxide to be taken away from the blood and out of the body through the lungs when you exhale. Breathing takes place when pressure gradient in the body and the atmosphere is different. When the internal pressure of the body falls lower than the external pressure on the outside of the body, air moves into the lungs through the trachea until the pressure is equalised. However, if the external pressure falls lower than the internal pressure, you breathe out so that the pressure gradient is equal again. At a young age, you have a large tidal volume. This is the amount of air that you breathe in per breath. Tidal volume is higher in a younger person compared to someone who is aging due to an efficiently working diaphragm. The diaphragm is a muscle which is located at the bottom of the lungs, and it contracts and relaxes to allow lung volume to increase and decrease so you are able to inhale and exhale air into your lungs. When you are younger, your diaphragm is strong due to high intensity usage such as when performing aerobic activity. Any exercise that a young person does will strengthen their diaphragm just like any other muscle. Therefore, they will have a higher tidal volume as they are able to breathe in bigger volumes of air, due to the diaphragm being able to produce a larger force when contracting to let lung volume increase. This is an advantage to the younger generation when playing aerobic sports because it allows them to take in more oxygen, which is taken to the working muscles and used during aerobic glycolysis, and it also allows more carbon dioxide to be exhaled, which reduces the impact of lactic acid on the muscles. However, as you age, your respiratory muscles weaken. This is linked to the amount of exercise that the older generation do. If they are performing less high-intensity exercise which relies on a high demand of oxygen, it means their respiratory muscles, such as their diaphragm, aren't having to work as hard. This means that the diaphragm muscle weakens and is less strong because it isn't being pushed and worked hard. Over time, this means that an individual will not be able to breathe in as deeply, restricting the amount of oxygen that can be taken to the vital organs and muscles in the body. To slow this deterioration of the diaphragm, they should take part in exercise such as cycling, which puts higher demands on your respiratory system, so it will strengthen the respiratory muscles. However, it is still low impact on joints and bones, which will become weak with age, and it is more dangerous to do impact sports. Another part of the respiratory system that is affected by age is the rib cage. The rib cage is a bone which is made out of calcium and minerals. Just like any other bone and joint in the body, as you age, your rib cage can become stiff due to ribs not being as strong as they were when you were younger. The rib cage's role is to expand and contract the lungs so it offers protection to the vital organs. However, as calcium stores in the ribs deteriorate over time, they become thin and worn, and also they become more rigid and breakable due to loss of minerals and calcium, which make up the main structure of the bones. If the rib cage is stiffer, it means that breathing is made harder as the lungs are placed under more pressure each time they fill with air. This puts older people at a disadvantage when doing activities as simple as walking because they won't be able to reach maximal volume each time they inhale, affecting their performance as they will have less oxygen to use in the working muscles. Age also affects the elasticity of the lungs' air sacs, which are called alveoli. At the age of around 40, collagen begins to decrease. Collagen has a role to provide stretch and allow movement of main tissues in the body such as the skin. However, as you get older, levels of it decrease due to collagen synthesis no longer taking place as regularly compared to when you were younger. Having little stretch of the lungs means that When the diaphragm contracts, a smaller amount of air can be taken into the lungs, meaning there is less oxygen that can be supplied to the whole body. With age, the alveoli in the lungs lose their shape slightly, which can be down to this loss of collagen, which is what allows them to be elastic and hold air in their pockets. Overall, this makes an older person's lung capacity smaller, which is a disadvantage in most cases. For example, when walking up and down the stairs, older people will get out of breath a lot faster. This is a disadvantage because it will in turn increase their heart rate, putting all their organs under more pressure. Having a small lung capacity is also a disadvantage for when they take part in aerobic activities. This is because they will not be able to carry large amounts of oxygen to the working muscles so that they can work efficiently during aerobic glycolysis. This means that the individual will tire a lot faster and struggle to continue working at maximal effort. Therefore, the older population should take part in regular aerobic activities such as swimming to help them build aerobic capacity and strengthen respiratory muscles, as this will allow their health to improve over time without putting impact on their major joints, and they will be at a lower risk of respiratory diseases.